Good morning. I guess this is take two. Crunchy Frog here. I don't know what happened. I just checked the video that I just recorded and it was all messed up. For some reason it wasn't in the horizontal mode, or it was in horizontal mode, but it was up and down like it's in portrait mode. So anybody watching the video would have to turn their head completely sideways to see it. But anyway, we have a nice windy day today. It was a little bit rainy earlier this morning, but it's cleared up so I could go for a walk. And we have the wind blowing, and gotta stop and shake an acorn out of my shoe. That's always nice when you see I don't wear regular shoes. I wear Crocs because Crocs are the best. And sometimes something will get inside your Croc and it'll mess with your foot. So once in a while I have to stop and shake something out, but it's no big deal. Anyway, as you can hear, it's pretty windy here in San Antonio. Supposedly, it's like this all the time up in Chicago. They call it the Windy City. Speaking of which, the Chicago Blackhawks, with their new goaltender, got a pretty convincing victory last night. I was pretty happy to see Spencer Knight move from the Florida Panthers and go to Chicago and enjoy instant success. Although I think that probably what attributed to Chicago's success last night was more getting rid of Seth Jones, Mr. Complainy Pants, who's been ragging on his own team and being a blister and demanding a trade. So they finally traded him. They got Spencer Knight in return. He was a pretty solid backup goaltender for Florida, but now he's going to get a chance to be a starter goaltender, which I think he deserves. He's a good goaltender. And Seth Jones can go down and be happy with Florida, because Florida's a good winning team. Now I know probably not many people care that much about NHL hockey, but it's hockey and MMA that are the two sports that I like. I don't care for football or basketball, and I'm sort of neutral about baseball. I can watch a baseball game if it has the Houston Astros or the Texas Rangers in it. Other than that, I really don't care that much. It's kind of a yawn fest. But MMA and hockey are pretty exciting and fun to watch. And my Dallas Stars are sitting pretty close to the top of the standings, so they're going to be going to the playoffs for sure. Now, how far they go into the playoffs is a little bit uncertain, because they're a very young team and they don't have some of their veteran leadership that retired last season, like Joe Pavelski. But they have some really good young talent like Wyatt Johnston and Roope Hintz and Jason Robertson. And they do have some veteran leadership. They made a couple good trades also just recently to get Matthias Grönlund from the Sharks, who's a really good Swedish player. I think he's Swedish or Finnish, one of those two. But yeah, the Dallas Stars are looking really good, which makes me happy because they're my number one team. I also like to cheer for the Columbus Blue Jackets. I've sort of adopted the Blue Jackets this year because of the passing of Johnny Gaudreau, who was their star player. He died. He was out biking with his brother. A drunk driver came along and ran them both over. So we have two deaths because one giant jerk had to go around and drive drunk and run down two guys. Two really good, decent guys. And so because of that, I started cheering for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Also, they're sort of an underdog. They weren't expected to go anywhere this year. And I believe that it's the goodwill and the cheering from a sympathetic hockey nation that has brought to this point where they're right on the edge of getting into playoffs, and it looks like they're going to get into the playoffs. They're really good. They're surprisingly good. So good for the Blue Jackets. Anyway, hopefully this video is not completely messed up like the last one was. Before I get blown away, let me say goodbye. Goodbye.